Yeah. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C, and to the right on screen, my left in real life, it is Melball. How you doing?
I cannot complain. It is still freaking cold out here, but you know what? It is heating up in here because
it's warming up today. It's warming up.
We'll be getting into this a little bit later in there, but you know, man, we have had some amazing wrestling to enjoy these last couple of days. But Andre, how have you been doing? You've been very busy the last couple of days.
I've been just nothing but busy. Like, life's going on. Mom's back in the province. So I was picking her up and doing stuff, and life's just been busy. Work, lots of wrestling to watch. As much as I love the tag leagues, I will be okay when they finish, because then we can just go back to regular tours where I don't have to watch every single show. I still watch a majority of them, but a lot of them repeat, so you can if you miss a night, it's not the worst thing where you can't, like, if as a pro wrestling fan, I can't miss a night of the tag league. Even if I wasn't doing this, I cannot miss a tag league night, because every match in this tournament means something. So
Especially at this point in the tournament, every single match, every single point is important. And I think that we've made some pretty good picks for tonight's episode. That being said, Andre, take over as our host. The host with the mostest.
We are going to get into the tag leagues from the shows from November 30th and December 2nd. The other 3 nights from this past weekend, including today when this drops on Monday, will be coming out this coming Friday. We will be reviewing those 3 shows. We have yet to watch them because it is Saturday afternoon, and I just finished watching Friday's show. So, but we will be dropping that show on Friday, and on Wednesday we will be dropping the Stardom Tag League show from last weekend. But yeah, we are here to talk about World Tag League Night 4 or 5?
Yes.
Night 4, and then Super Junior Night 6 and World Tag League Night 5 from December 2nd. So without further ado, I'm going to bring it up on the screen. This is the beautiful logo that New Japan put out. I love it. I grabbed it. It just makes things so much easier to look at when you get that beautiful logo to start. It just makes life so much better. And we are going to get into our first match of the evening. And this is in the World Tag League division. You have Gabriel Kidd and Alex Coughlin taking on General's Jewel. And sadly, this is actually the last match we're going to get to see from General's Jewel in this tournament, as it was released on Friday that Chase Owens had a death, or it was Thursday. It came late Thursday, early Friday for us. Chase Owens has had a death in the family, so this is actually the last match that his team is going to wrestle, because he has left to go home. Obviously, your family comes first, 100%. I want to say my best wishes go to you and your family, Chase. Like, I really hope everything will be okay. I trust me. I dealt with the death of my family earlier this year. It's a tough thing to deal with, so I'm all my sympathies to you, sir.
Thoughts and prayers going towards Chase Owens for sure. I was very sad to hear that this would be our last match to see him in, especially when with the Dojo Boys coming in. You know, I've been really enjoying seeing how the LA Dojo is performing in this tournament. I really felt that this was a great showcase match for them. But, like, props to Coughlin picking up and body slamming Fale. That's not an easy feat.
Dude,
that's not something he gives very often.
He did it. It was when he did the slam and he went to do something. I can't remember what, but he did almost a Hogan-like thing when he did it. He very much played off that Hogan Giant thing. I really liked that. It was actually like, you kind of get the attitude of him when I was like, that's nice. That's like, actually, this is a great opener to this show. Again, I like in past years, I haven't been a huge fan of Chase and Fale as a team. This year, I have been really getting into them, and just and to see the LA Dojo really work against these guys, I thought they've been absolutely phenomenal. Like, Gabriel Kidd, he's just special, but Coughlin, man, just seeing this guy and his size, his power going up against all these different people, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Just great overall match, the power out of Coughlin, and just how he matched up with Fale. Like it worked out beautifully.
I have to agree. And once again tonight, we saw the sassy pants out of Gabe Kidd, and
he was actually a little bit sassy. Yeah, you're right. He was a little bit.
I want to say though, I think on top of Coughlin body slamming Fale in this match, one of my things that I noticed was Chase was performing so amazing in this match. That spring in his step that I had mentioned in the last video that he seemed to have found really, really picked up in this one. I felt that after the slam with Fale was his kind of moment where, nope, I got to pick this up. I got to get the win for my team. And he did, picking up that win with that pile driver. I love that little pile driver that he does.
Yeah.
It just looks so good.
Yeah, because there's a Coughlin ran Fale into Chase, who was on the top rope, but to come off. And then that's where Coughlin hit the big scoop slam onto Fale. And then he hit a beautiful overhead belly-to-belly suplex onto Chase, which was beautiful. But then Chase right back with a thrust kick, hits the package power driver, or known as Jewel Heist. I think it's a Jewel Heist. I might be wrong. Or is it the spinning clothesline thing? I can't remember. And gets the win. Again, great match overall. Great win. Again, I said this early on in the G1. I think the best place for Fale is in a tag team. He gets his, and this isn't a slight against him because I think he is a wonderful mentor in all the mental health stuff he does. And I think it's just where he is later in his career. I think he belongs better in a tag team where he might be slowed down a bit. And I think everything he has been doing in these tag matches has been absolutely perfection. Because he comes in, does his big spots, and then he gets out. And gives a guy like Coughlin a big spot to work with. So, yeah. I thought really great match.
Yes, I have to agree. Very, very good match.
And we're going to move on to the next match of the evening. And it is Mel's pick for the night. This is the match Mel wants you all to watch. And that is from the United Empire, Aaron Henare and Great-O-Khan taking on Suzuki Guns, Lance Archer, and Minoru Suzuki. Mel, take it away.
Oh my goodness. This match was fun. I had so much fun with this. The beginning of this, right before they even got into the action, Archer coming out like a hurricane, like he usually does.
Always.
Just storming the ring, and everyone, like the young boys, just run, scatter, run for the hills, protect yourself.
They don't usually get away fast enough. That's the problem.
No. And usually it was Minoru Suzuki they had to be the most concerned about, especially Kevin Kelly on commentary. Don't look at him. Don't give him eye contact. No, Archer was definitely the problem this time. Going into the Japanese commentary, which was the only commentary we had at this point, and getting in the face of Milano, Collection 18, and Master Wato, the two smallest people possible to be staring up at Archer. I'm bringing this up because it was just so adorable how Milano was responding. Just no. Why? I almost spit out my drink. I laughed so hard at this. And because it was so loud, because he still had his commentary thing on, it was just a really funny and adorable little way to set up the match. Great-O-Khan doing his, I don't remember what exactly it's called, but it's the sit-down spot on the corner.
He just sits on the head?
Yeah.
Suzuki's face.
Oh, I was just going to say, the look on his face, he's just like, you just wait until you get off my face, sir.
He just looked pissed.
Oh, yeah. Like, it looked like, that when you have that big person, that little whirlwind person is running around them, and they're just sitting there like, that's what that reminded me of. Because he was biding his time until O'Khan removed his butt from his face. There was a little spot in the middle there between O'Khan and Suzuki where they were trading shots, trading moves. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Great-O-Khan really, again, that guy who can really adapt to anything and anyone in the ring. He can do comedy. He can do seriousness. I felt in this match that we got the really kind of serious Okan. The Archer able to struggle as the great Okan was trying to transition his moves. I felt that that Archer was very, very good in this match, in that he usually is that person who kind of just comes in like a wrecking ball, runs into stuff, and that's what I'm used to him seeing. I felt like he was really chain wrestling a little bit with Okan more than he usually does, and I really appreciate that because it shows how Okan's versatility can bring out more versatility from other people that he's wrestling.
To Archer though, I will say that guy, I've watched him in a lot of different matches over the years. He is very adaptable to pretty much anybody's style. I've watched him wrestle small guys and be that very good base for them and things like that, and be able to really keep and sometimes keep up with them. And then I've seen him work big guys, seen him work technical guys. He is a very versatile, well-rounded professional wrestler.
Very much so. And apparently too tall for the Japanese hotel room beds. Something that I also thought that Okan looks very, very tall. He looks very dominant. He looks to me, other than Kyle Fletcher, the tallest member of the United Empire. Sure looked a little small standing across from Lance Archer. I felt that was really, really cool dynamic to see. Archer got that. Is it that black hole slam that he does with the
blackout?
Blackout.
Black hole slam was the best. Come on.
Yeah, I was close. I had the black part. At least the color part was right. Doing that on Hanare. Hanare is not someone who's usually used to being thrown around. He is the powerhouse himself, so he's kind of used to doing the throwing. The last couple shows, though, being tossed around by Archer, being tossed around by Coughlin, very, very interesting, spot that Hanare's in right now. I felt this was a phenomenal match. Archer picking up the win for Suzuki-gu, and I didn't write down how he finished.
With the black, it was a blackout. Yeah, it was the blackout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't write down the rest of the sentence there. Great match for both of these guys. I really, really enjoyed how interactive Minoru Suzuki particularly was with the crowd. It was the first time I felt that he really acknowledged that the crowd was cheering again, even though they have been cheering for quite some time. He would get them.
It's on and off with the crowds
too. He wasn't really like me, get interested. I felt at the end of this match, he was kind of like, I won. Let's go. Come on. And I really, really like seeing the interaction. Andre, what do you think of this one?
I actually had a really good time with this. Like, just the athleticism from Archer is just kind of insane for a guy his size and what he can do. Like, and you think he's 46 or something like that. I was hearing on something. He's like 46 or something. He's in his mid 40s, and this guy still moves like he does, and he has like the speed and ability that he has is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. So,
100%.
Yeah. So, anything else on this one, or are we good to go?
Oh no, that was everything I had on this one. Very, very fun match.
Perfect. And so from here, we move on to the next match of the evening. It is Aussie Open taking on House of Torture. And this one was back to me not caring for House of Torture matches again. Because this, after the last couple, and I was like, oh, they toned it down. I'm enjoying this a little more. No. Simply no. It's just a lot of the Dick Togo's interference constantly, show being in there. It's just, I'm just so tired of it. But it's just kicking Yujiro in the crotch was the greatest feeling I ever felt inside of me, because I'm like, oh, thank you. And then Aussie Open getting Coriolis because of the kick in the crotch, that just was like, mwah. And again, after the match, Togo protesting that the United Empire cheated. He's getting mad about it. Yet all you did the entire match was cheat. You stupid a-hole.
Which one's the pot and which one's the kettle? They're both being painted there.
Yeah, so again, Aussie Open I think did as good. Like again, this team I think is almost flawless. I like they are so good, and what they did in this match, I very much enjoyed. It's just all of the House of Torture antics. I don't mind a little bit of cheating, a little bit of take your spots here and there. I don't mind that, but when it's this blatant and this much, and we are going to get to more on the next show, this is where it's like, for me.
It is. It's one of those very frustrating things where you're like, we're almost to the point of at least myself. I'm almost to the point of thinking Suzuki-gun got exiled for these kind of actions how many years ago? Are we about ready to see House of Torture being booted from NJPW? Well, we could. Who the hell would have them after this?
I would be fine with it, but my feeling is Gato likes the American style, and it's not even American style booking anymore. It's just crap, because even the Americans, like I can't even I can consider this late '90s American style booking, maybe where there was a lot of this kind of stuff in that point. But
yeah,
like it's a very
AJ Styles recently. Like he's had a lot of crotch shots in the last couple of years. They must have hired him.
Yeah, but it's just Gato loves that late '90s style, and this is kind of that feeling that House of Torture gives you. And I'm just like, oh, come on, dude, this is just gotta end at some. It's gonna end at some point, but I feel like we got like another 4 or 5 years of this shit to go because it's just
no.
Yeah. But we are going to move on from that to legitimately one of my favorite matches so far in this entire goddamn tournament. Sorry, did I scroll too far? It is Los Ingobernables de Japón, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito taking on legitimately one of my favorite tag teams of all time, TMDK, Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols. This was awesome. I flat out messaged Mel after I watched the show and said, I'm taking this match. And I didn't give her a choice of even to pick it. I was like, no, this is my match. Absolutely phenomenal. I am so big a fan of all these guys, and like just the athleticism, Sonata working in there with Haste and Nichols both, just and then Naito too. Like it's just how these guys flowed so well. It was absolutely amazing, and just like Haste that with that European uppercut to Naito, and then the backdrop suplex to Sonata, and then another inverted suplex right after to Naito and gets it too. It's just the greatest. The tornado DDT by Naito. They flow so well. Like he has like this hops off the roof and just that spin around. It just looks so good. Again, it's both men, but it's Naito. How you come around, how you swing your legs, how you do all that makes it look so good. It's just. There was an inverted talent drop by Naito, then an enziguri by Sonata, and then the TKO on the Nichols by Sonata. Just how those again, you always say LAJ doesn't need to communicate to say know what they're doing. Again, it's the same thing with Hayes and Nichols, because again they've worked together other than the couple of years where Nichols was out of WWE. They know each other. They grew up in this business together. They have that same thing, and watching these two teams being able to just know what the other one's going to do and just do all this stuff. Like TMDK, they did a Tower of Doom to Naito off the top, and they Tower of Doom was it Hayes had the suplex and Nichols did the power bomb. Like it just to Naito, and it's just the way they all work together. At the end of it came which was essentially the big ending from Nichols and Haste, and then they off the top rope, and they got the win. Again, I didn't as much as I love TMDK, I wasn't sure they were going to be able to beat LIJ, because LIJ has been pretty hot in this tournament, and TMDK getting another win, which is a huge plus for this team. Because I was we talked in the preview, I wasn't sure if these guys were going to be at the top of the ranking at the end. I'm getting the feeling that there's a high chance that TMDK might be the team to win this tournament. And this is their first run together in New Japan proper since years ago, right? So like there's a chance like there's some other teams that have a good chance too, but like I'm like the more they do, the more I get even more and more excited for what this team possibly do. TMDK versus FTR at Wrestle Kingdom, that blows my mind.
That would actually be a very different styling, also that FTR would be kind of used to. Like they've dealt with that lucha libre style, but the combination of styles that Haste and Nichols have together, they're not like the typical lucha where the lucha are both like they're both lucha. It's like Shane is very obviously got a little bit more lucha undertones as opposed to Nichols, who's more of the powerhouse of the group.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that Nichols can't do some kind of aerial moves because we've seen him do them.
Oh, so, very much
yeah,
so.
I think that would be a fun match. That being said, though, your other favorite, Aussie Open, is also pretty up there.
That's the other thing, and I'm when they inevitably face off, I'm going to be like, my brain's probably gonna break.
You're gonna have an Astrid moment when Astrid is facing Jordan Grace and Mickey James. Please don't die. Neither of you, please. Your recording partner.
Yeah, but yeah. Any other thoughts on the match, Mel?
No, I just felt that this match was a really, really great showcase for both of these teams. I didn't take a whole ton of notes. I watched this match twice, but I was just so interested in the match that I didn't take notes on it. So, yeah, I just felt it was really, really fun. I feel that you kind of rounded out all of the information that I would have been saying on this one. Really, really great match.
Perfect. And so move on to the main event of the November 27th show, and it is Bebop Tag Team Toriano and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Bishamon is Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. Again, I thought I thought very good, enjoyable main event. Again, this is a personal thing for me is I'm not Yoshihashi is doing some of the best work he's ever done. I'm a little tired of Bishamon myself. I've been watching them for the last year or two, and I guess I'm just a little burnt out on them. And I'm never going to take Yano seriously. I don't think ever. As much as I do enjoy him, and I think he's doing a great job here with Tanahashi. Mm-hmm. It's just I don't think I'll ever see him as a top tag team guy again. Like if him and Tanahashi win this tournament somehow and take the title and then take the title of FDR, I will applaud them both. But it's just it's hard. And then I'm beginning just with Bishamon. I'm a little bit burnt out on them because there's so many good new tag teams in this thing, and I'm hoping to see because I want to see this division flourish more. And whoever takes this, I hope in a sense does beat FTR at Wrestle Kingdom, so we get the titles back into Japan, and they're being defended more regularly here in Japan. Again, nothing against FTR. It's just they've had a total of 2 defenses since they won the titles in the summer at the AEW New Japan crossover show.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that was it in the Royal Quest, and then it was Royal Quest, and then there was a show recently they were on, but that's it. Like November 5th, I think it was. November 5th or something like that.
44th Street? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it was the November 5th show they were on. It was that, and they defended them for another time there. It's just I want to see the tag titles come back. But getting back to this match, I apologize. The finish to this match did come. There was a sling blade by Tanahashi to Yoshihashi. Hashi. And he goes up but gets stopped by Goto. Yoshihashi tries for the superplex, but Yano knocks Goto out of the ring, grabs Yoshihashi and power bombs his ass, and Tanahashi gets the high flat flow, and they get the win. So, Yano and Tanahashi keeping themselves relevant in this tournament, and Bishamon taking a big loss in my opinion because being that they're last year's winners, these guys are. You look at them; they should be going far.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. It's very interesting to see the losses that Bishamon is taking in this tournament, and they're only sitting at this point of the tournament, I think like before the next few nights, they were only sitting at 4 points, so that's 2 wins. In
2
this
wins, 2
tournament,
losses.
when Aussie Open is sitting at 8 with the same amount of kind of
4 wins.
matches here.
Yeah,
So,
undefeated.
yeah, it is a little concerning. I mean, I'm such a Goto fan. I would love to see him have another resurgence in a singles run. To be honest, before another tag run. That being said, though, I do appreciate that G1 Yoshihashi hasn't left yet.
And the thing is, you say you want to see go there. I wouldn't mind seeing Yoshihashi maybe step into the never title picture, and possibly get his first singles title and give him a run with the never title. Like, that would not bother me. And again, it would get it off Carl Anderson, that's for sure. And then
I was gonna say it would have to be after the next match, which would be either Carl Anderson, which I don't suspect he's going to be retaining. If he does, my goodness, I mean,
there's rumors WWE's made a deal to let them work through to 2023 with New Japan. So
I can see that being a very, very good thing as other companies are doing that, but I can also see WWE maybe wanting to hold back on letting some of their other talents have that same freedom. We'll have to see how that kind of goes forward. The last thing I wanted to say about this match, though, is just Tanahashi and Yano, the team. I agree. It's not very much something that you can very much take seriously. But my goodness, does Tanahashi look so dreamy with that little pompadour and that like short little Spanish like almost
matador jacket?
Yeah, holy hot diggity, yowza! That's the ace. Yummy.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
I've liked the new look for Tana and Yano, like the slick back, and Yano still's doing his gimmick at the start, but I like Tanahashi he's got the different jacket on, he's got the hair done a different way. I like it. I really do like the change up for both men. I really do. And Yano, as much as he's still being goofy, Yano, he is taking it slightly more seriously. You can see him working wrestling a little more. Like he does some comedy stuff early, but later in the matches he's working harder than he usually does. And like, not that he doesn't work hard, I apologize, but working more seriously than he usually does later into a match. So
100%.
Yeah. So quick rundown for the point total before we go into the next night. Aussie Open on top alone with 8 points, 4 wins, no losses. Archer and Minoru Suzuki, Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols, both with 6 points. Sonata and Naito, Bishamon, Yoshihashi and Goto, Hanara and Great Khan, Owens and Bad Luck Fale, and Yano and Hiroshi all with 4 points. Yujiro and Evil and Gabriel Kidd and Alex Colgan with 0 points. So one of those teams with 0 points, I want to see win points, and the other one are House of Torture.
House of Torture. Stop being so torturous. People like you more.
Yeah, I still wouldn't. But all right, we are going to move on to the second night that we're going to talk about, the December 2nd show. It is the 6th night of the Super Juniors and the 5th night of the World Tag League. And we are going to start it off with the team I've named Knights of Time. They are Kevin Knight and Kushida from Suzuki Guns, Doki and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Again, this was actually not a crazy long match, but again, I like the fact that Kevin Knight has kept his old gear on, like has wearing the pants. It's at least differentiated him to stand out and not just be a guy in black trunks anymore. And I do like that. The trading arm ringers, gotta love it every time. But again, both these teams having great success here. But in the end, slingshot DDT by Doki and the brainbuster by Yoshinobu Kanemaru to Kevin Knight gets the win for Doki and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. And that's their first win in this tournament.
It is. The Daybreaker by Doki. I love that DDT.
The Daybreaker. I apologize. I keep forgetting that name, but I always look at it as a slingshot DDT.
The only way, the only way I remember it is that it was a vampire movie that I really, really enjoyed called Daybreaker. That's why I make that connection.
I know you're a big fan of vampires. So.
Always. The one thing that I wanted to just point out about Knight in this one was that just the strength and just the jumping beam that he, like, I want to know what he eats to jump that high. Doing that super Rana up onto the shoulders of, I think it was Kanemaru.
And it wasn't even like,
I think
I've seen guys do that Rana before where they jump and they just catch with the feet and it's almost like a head scissors off. He literally Hurricane Rana'd him or Frankenstein'd him. His jump, he had the thighs around the head from jumping off the mat, had the thighs around the head, and Frankenstein'd him off. The height on that jump is insanity.
Insane.
Yeah. There's somebody else that likes to do moves like that too. So yeah.
Well, I was making a Sami Zayn reference, but yeah.
Oh, I was thinking another Zayn, but okay.
We'll do that one later.
Move on to the next match of the evening, and again, this was actually a pretty darn short match. It is Bebop Tag Team Toriano and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on the LA Dojos, Gabriel Kidd and Alice Cogan. Again, Bebop literally went to squat at the start. LA Dojo just booted them. I loved it. I love it. It's like, yeah, you're not. Why are you going to let them squat in front of him? Just beat the shit out of them. I get it. And again, this went very quickly. It was only a few minutes of time. Again, not much. In the end, Tana hits the plancha to call them for. Yano hits the power bomb on Gabriel Kidd. And then Tanahashi gets up top, hits the high fly throw onto Kidd, gets the win. Again, that is now their tag team finisher. It's the powerbomb high fly flow combo, and it's over.
Yeah. I don't know where it came from for me, but my partner and I, when we started watching New Japan, we messed up the vocals for high fly flow once and said flee, flee, flee instead. So that's how we call the high fly flow. So every time you say it, I'm just going flee, flee, flee.
I feel like it was you that messed it up and your partner not so much. That's at least what I'm thinking.
I mean, keep in mind, my partner and I watch it live usually, so it would be a pretty late morning for me. I really had a lot of fun with this match. It was a really hard-hitting match for me, I thought. And again, Gabriel Kidd wearing his sassy pants. I think sassy pants are the rest of the tournament attire. And going into it, I think that they need it because I believe at this point they're sitting at 0 points. So I'm hoping the sassy pants help get him at least 1 point. Get to that time limit draw. I'll be happy with it.
I'd prefer them to get 2 and not have to sit through 30 minutes. But again, time limit draw is 30 minutes.
15 like Stardom.
It's 30 here. So yeah, it says 1 and then 30. That means it's a 30-minute draw. I would not. I wouldn't mind seeing
what those numbers meant.
Against the right opponent, it's a 1 fall, 30-minute time limit. But to the you never knew that?
Every day. I had no idea. Because I can't read the Japanese, right? So I'm never reading it.
Even on the English ones that drop have the same thing.
Like I'm paying attention to the guys at that point. Hey, I'm not here for my big brain, you guys. I'm here because I'm the pretty face.
That's me.
Can't both be the pretty face, Andre.
So we're going to move on to my least favorite match of the evening, and that was a very, according to Bell to Bell, like 30-second match. Lio Rush and Yo taking on House of Torture's Dick, Togo, and Show. My biggest note is, fuck this House of Torture bullshit. I really hate it, and it's easily worse than anything on American TV. I'd rather watch WWE at this point. I don't watch WWE because I find it insanely boring to watch. I'd rather watch Raw every Monday than have to watch more and more House of Torture. Again, Leo and Yo got hit from behind by Yujiro and Evil. And all it was just a giant beatdown of Leo and Yo. And then Evil brings a ref down. Ref starts the match. Show hit the shock arrow, got the win. Again, fuck House of Torture. I'm done.
We've already made it apparent in our YouTube up stuff that this is not made for children, so Andre can say fuck a lot.
Yeah, I won't say much more, but
The only I have 3 notes for this. The first is this match was some bullshit. Was the first one. The second
Mhm.
one, beating the shit out of everyone. Over it.
Mhm.
Last thing, Show pinning Yo. And like, I get that was a great moment for Show at that point. That was the first time I believe that he's actually really pinned Yo since Yo and him have separated and started butting heads. But
there was a couple. I think he beat him at the
like undercard stuff.
thing. The thing at the the thing. Well, the match they had at that summer Tokyo Dome show. I think Show beat Yo there, but I think that's about it. Oh, okay. So I have no idea then.
Yo won that one. But like, so, and I think that's why he celebrated so much at the end of that. But also, yay, they got 2 points. Yeah, this match was.
Well, they're this is for the next match. They're the only House of Torture team to get 2 points so far. So, and I'm okay with that. And the thing is, even with the forfeit, House of Torture ain't getting no 2 points from General's Rule because General's Rule already beat them. Thank Christ.
Hey, because F House of Torture.
Yeah.
I think
so we're going to move on to the.
Oh, come on.
So we're going to continue on the torture with this match was a little bit better than the last one. This wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in the world. Again, there is still Goto and Show interference throughout. Again, it got annoying. There's points where Hanare was he got Yujiro in the Ultimate just toward the end of the match. Khan got the Sheep Killer on Evil, but Show ended up distracting the ref, and Evil and Yujiro hit low blows. And then they toss the ref out, and then all of House of Torture just start gang stomping Hanare. And this is where Gideon gets in the ring and crotches Yujiro. Kicks him straight in the nuts. Loved it. And then Khan rolls in. And then Khan rolls in with the flag, but he has got a spear on the end. He has the flag off, and he's threatening to stab Evil. Evil's freaking out. And then so Khan tries to Lobo Evil. Evil tries to Lobo Khan, and this is where I think it was Hanare ended up low blowing Evil, and he hit the Rampage on Yujiro. And thank bloody Christ, the House of Torture got the win because I couldn't deal with 2 House of Torture wins on one show, especially after all the crap in these 2 matches. Again, Hanare, Khan did the best they could in this match. Again, everything that came from those 2 was good. It was great. I enjoy those 2, but everything coming out of Evil, Hanare got everything as Hanare, or was it? No, it was Khan got the everything as Khan at one point. That was nice to see, but it's the House of Torture stuff that's just irritates the hell out of me because we get it. If it wasn't for the fact that we get the same shit every show, it wouldn't bother me. If this happened every once in a blue moon, House of Torture comes out and helps them cheat. That's why I don't get mad at Yano's as much because he does it, but he does it in a goofy way. I don't get mad at Kenta's because his is dumb cheating almost in a sense, but sometimes it goes too far. But this is every single wrestling match that these guys are a part of. Somebody interferes on their behalf, or there's Lobos, or there's something. It's every time, and I'm just, if I could just not watch these matches for the rest of the tournament, I would be fine with it. But I've still got to report on it, so I got to at least sit through them and watch them. But I will never go back and watch any of these House of Torture matches ever again.
No, I have to agree. The cheating is too much, and it's to the point where, when it first started, it was okay, haha, that's funny. Moving on. But you're absolutely right. When it becomes every single match and not just every other show, it becomes a nuisance. And now it's to the point where people are booing even just seeing their pictures on the screen now. They don't even have to hear.
And it's not even a boo, you're a bad guy. It's boo, leave us alone. We don't want to see you. It's X-Pac heat.
Exactly.
Again, don't get me wrong. Sean Waltman is an incredible professional wrestler. He just got put into a position that he got booed for a long time. But
Hey,
He was never that. He was never as bad as these guys.
we've
Trust
seen
me.
people do the same thing, right? Hell, I've been
Yeah.
the person to instigate the booing.
Mhm.
What I wanted to say about the beginning, touch on where you had mentioned Okana and Hanare coming in with a spear. So they actually derobed on the ramp coming in, knowing.
Oh,
that
he came in with it early,
on
but
them.
he actually threatened Evil at the end of the
Yeah,
match.
and that's a straight out spear. That was a harpoon that he had. Yujiro laughing, but we know why Yujiro is laughing. You know, Okan's got the bigger stick, is what happened there.
So
And
Okan's the new pimp? Is that what you're saying?
hey, I mean, if you follow his social medias, particularly his Instagram, you'll know that that's not very far off.
Yeah.
So that being said, the last note that I had was everyone loves beating each other's balls, and it's not far off from the truth. This match was a very hard fought match for the United Empire. I felt that they earned these 2 points instead of
Very
just
much so.
walking around with them. But yeah, I would not hazard to watch another House of Torture match.
I wouldn't rewatch any of them. There was maybe the one they had with that. There was Catch 22 match with Sho and Togo. I might rewatch that because that was actually a very good match.
Very well told story,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So moving on from here, we go back to Super Juniors. It is Flying Tiger, Robbie Eagles, and Tiger Mask taking on Chris Bay and ASOS. And again, all four of these men are absolutely phenomenal in the ring, and the way they flowed together was really good. End of the match though came when ASOS ended up getting the spin kick and hit the fold on Tiger Mask to get the win. I do have to give at one point they were on the apron, and then they did the what's it called? I have it written down here. The ultimate finesse, which is essentially a throw into a cutter that they did. Was it Bay and Ace did the throw? Ace tossed him off the apron and onto Robbie Eagles on the floor. Again, I really liked the fact that they did that, and it just looked pretty good, and that's where everything came about to the finish from there. So again, it flowed very well there. Again, that Robbie Eagles acai DDT or the standing sliced bread, like I don't see very many people doing it with that smoothly. You know,
very, very accomplished wrestler, Robbie Eagles. Very, very high speed match for these four guys. Not to be unexpected out of Flying Tiger or Bullet Club teams here. I picked up maybe a little bit of emotion coming from Robbie Eagles towards the Bullet Club, maybe because of his past affiliation. Neither one of these guys was affiliated with Bullet Club at the time, though, when Robbie Eagles was affiliated with them.
Yeah,
but
that was
I
in the days.
understand how they would attempt to play off of that to create a story within the match, and I really appreciated it because I always love listening to Robbie mouth people off. It doesn't happen very often, so I like it when it does actually happen.
It gives him a bit of an edge.
It does.
Like it does.
Mm-hmm. And Ace Austin and Bay haven't had a ton of people that they could verbally feed off of, which is something that I know both of them are very capable and competent.
Well, I think they had their match with Cat. They had their match with Catch 22 already, right? TJP, TJ. Yeah, they had that early. I think it was one of the first couple nights of the Super
Juniors. Yeah, I think
Juniors.
so.
That one they were very verbal in, but it's but when you're facing Kanemaru and Doki, it's hard to be verbal in that sense because it's hard to have that verbal sparring session. Or even with Tiger, it's hard to have that. But with Robbie there or anybody who speaks English, it can't have that.
Was it Catch 22 or was it the
It might have been Leo and Yo.
Leo Rush.
I might have been them, but again, you have Leo to really have that play against. Yeah, and even Yo in that. but even Yo was verbally having stuff with them too, because with his limited English, he still had the ability. I remember he spent like a good almost 2 years wrestling in North America for ROH, so he has an understanding of the English language. It's just maybe not as easy for him as it would be in Japanese. But yeah, again,
Leo Rush helped inspire him to give him a little bit more of a personality.
Hopefully so. Is there anything else on this one, or you're good to go?
No, this one is good for me, sir.
Perfect. And we're going to move on to my pick of my first pick, because on this show, because there's 10 matches, we're going to do 2 picks each on this show. Mm-hmm. My first pick of the evening, it's going to be in the heavyweight division. I'm picking TMDK, Shane Hayes, Mikey Nichols versus Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki. Okay, this match only went a few minutes, but I picked this because of just the shortness and how the reactions happened in this match. Archer, before the match, is kicking the crap out of Young Boys. But as soon as Suzuki and Archer got in the ring, when Kaze, Nina, Rhea hit, they get in, they immediately go smashing into TMDK. And it's pretty much them just beating the crap out of TMDK for a good couple minutes. Mm-hmm. And Suzuki just beating the hell, just beating the holy hell out of Shane Hayes. And then Nichols, he ended up, they got back in the ring, and Nichols ended up clotheslining Archer out and hit a plancha onto him on the outside after they had brawled on the outside and got back in. And this is where Suzuki got the rear naked choke on Haste. And then he turns it into the gotch, tries to lift him, but he can't do it. So he flips him back, puts him back into the rear naked choke. But this is where Haste shoves off and makes them fall to the mat. And Haste literally is laying on top of Suzuki. The ref counts 3. Haste, this is where Suzuki lets go of the rear naked choke. Haste is running. He slides out the ring, almost runs into Archer, just literally ducks getting smacked by Archer, and starts running off cheering because he's so happy because he just picked up this out of nowhere win on Minoru Suzuki. And Suzuki just getting pissed. He just starts throwing chairs, beating up Young Boys, threatening announcers again. Dude, I absolutely love it. It was only a couple minutes or a few minutes, but just Suzuki just laying waste almost to Shane Hayes there. I thought, and Hayes stealing that win from him. I absolutely loved it. It's just a beautiful sight to see again, and I get to see one of my favorite tag teams win. But it was just to see Suzuki's reactions to losing, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that something that I wrote down at the end here: Archer and Suzuki Rampage afterwards. If there's ever a new Rampage game, I think we know some unlockable characters that they could add into the thing. I mean, Angry Grandpa was really angry.
No, Murder Grandpa. It's Murder Grandpa.
He was certainly becoming Murder Grandpa after that. I thought Kenta Sato was going to die.
Oh, dude, he went after the ref.
The show brought down to win over Leo Rush and Yo. So, F you, Kenta Sato.
Yeah, but he went after Kenta Sato, but Kenta Sato got away, thank Christ. But dude, this was short, but this sweet little spot, and just seeing Nichols taking out Archer, and then Hayes pulling what he did on Suzuki was just absolute perfection.
Good choice, sir. Good choice.
Yeah, I just loved the briefness. So again, I loved other matches, but just watch this just to see what Suzuki does. It's phenomenal. And then Haste in his happiness of winning, you see him just cheering as he's leaving, you can see he's just elated in stealing this win from Minoru Suzuki. I absolutely loved it.
You would have to be elated. I mean, you got away pretty much from the Murder Grandpa. And you didn't get
murdered by him. Simple as that.
I would say that's a victory in itself.
Yeah. So we are going to move on next to Mel's first pick of the night, and that is in the Super Junior Tag League. It is the team of the Sauce Hearts, El Lindemann and Alex Zane, taking on Teton and Bushi from Los Ingobernables de Japón. And Mel has brought some accoutrements for this show. She's got so you show her what you got.
I made sure to bring snacks. So I ran out to Taco Bell and got myself some tacos and a cheesy gordita crunch, and we're going to chow down on this while we're talking about this fun match, but not.
Do you want me to talk it and you eat? Do you want me to talk
it? I'll take bites after each thing. Something I wanted to mention at the very start of this was Lindemann wrestling Teton. Very, very smart. Teton is very much a lucha libre, obviously, styled wrestler. Lindemann, a very amateur style wrestler. So I felt that he was wrestling Teton very, very smart in the beginning of this match, trying to keep the pace very slow, kind of keep Teton a little grounded so that he could capitalize on that. I felt that the entirety of this match was very, very high speed, high energy. You don't not expect that from all four of these men. The judo toss from Lindemann, I absolutely love this toss. It is tight, it is crisp, it is vicious. He looks like he literally yanks you where
Mm-hmm.
you want to go. If you did not want to go voluntarily, you're going regardless
Mm-hmm.
because he's bringing you over. Lindemann and Zayn work so uniquely well together. Not to take away from Teton and Bushi, their lucha libre, combination.
That's a pure match right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely perfection. But like the difference in styles and techniques that Lindemann and Zayn combine together to create their match moves, absolutely incredible. Very, 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 very fun match for me. But in the end, the Sauce Man pinning Bushi to pick up 2 points over the Lucha Days. Good job, Mr. Zayn. I'm hungry. Mm-hmm.
There was it. I remembered what the
If I may go real quick before you get into it, this probably tastes better than Taguchi's butt.
I would hope so. Not a comment. That is not a comment I'd ever hear you say on this. I thought I'd ever hear you say on this show, but okay.
I never thought I'd see another man mowing down on another man's ass either. But here we are.
It happens on other parts of the internet all the time, Mel. So, but to that point, when Zayn went for the Baja Blast, which is that sidewalk slam that he has the front flip over, and thank you to Alex Zayn, because I searched it up. I looked up Alex Zayn moves just so I could get kind of the names, because I know he has very unique moves. On his own YouTube page, he has a top 15 moves of Alex Zayn, and it gave me I wasn't 100% sure that was Baja Blast, but it is Baja Blast. But when he did it, and Teton did the hands down and front flip through it, I was insanely impressed when he front flipped through the Baja Blast. I'm like, oh, he unlocked a way to block that. But that's not, most people can't do that. I really, really like that. I really did. And then in the end, yes, Zayn did get, I almost said Sami Zayn. Oh my God. Alex Zayn, it's the last name. Alex Zayn getting the taco driver for the win. Absolutely. I really, Mel wanted this match, so I was like, Kate, you can have it. I have another match I could pick on this show. But I this was a shorter match. And I found a lot of the early part of this card was a shorter show. Even this one, again, not as short as others, but it was not that long. But I did enjoy that, especially with having the UE House of Torture match going a little longer. This one being shortened up didn't hurt at all, and I thought it compacted everything in super well. And then Teton, man, the spin kicks, the strikes, he's so good. They're so crisp, man.
Absolutely incredible wrestler, yeah.
Yeah. So from here, I'm just going to click through this because for the forfeit, Bishamon does take 2 points in this match. I will give an update on all the points, but I will also add in what other points that these certain teams will get going forward. So from here, we move on to the semi-main event of the evening. Again, this is my other pick of the night. This is my Super Juniors pick. Clark Connors, Ryusuke Taguchi, Wild Hips, or as Mel texted me, Wild Butts. Calling them Wild Butts in the text she sent me this morning. Taking on Catch 22's Francesco Akira and TJP from the United Empire. Start of this match, the Hips have the Sapporo. Taguchi pulls out, was it ramen or Ichiban?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it was.
Ramen bowl, yeah.
And Connors poured the Sapporo in and then drank from it. What the hell? I'm pretty sure you have to like warm up the noodles to get them soft, right? Or cook
My
the noodles.
question is, like here, the sauce packages and stuff for that are also inside on the top. So like, we saw him rip the cellophane off. Did he try to drink the packages whole? Were they
I guess so.
beer? Was it chicken noodle flavored beer? Now I was confused.
No, it was the Porto flavored noodles now, but I absolutely thought, and then he starts offering it to everybody, and then nobody wants it. And this is where Taguchi unties his pants, getting in Akira's face. So Akira unties his pants and threatens to pull his pants off. And I'm like, why?
I mean, as a lady, I'm sitting here going, Magic Mike, but not for Taguchi. Magic Mike.
Yeah, but I thought absolutely phenomenal match. Like, just everything both these teams do. Like, I haven't been a big fan of Taguchi for a long time, and this, like, him working with Connors, I've absolutely become a fan of him again. I'm really enjoying the comedy he does. The butt whips that they did to Akira in the corner, absolutely great. But like that electric chair and TJP tossing Akira off into the senton, so good. It just, and then there's a spot TJP gets in the corner and he does the face wash, but he does it with the laces of his boot. He did it to Connors, washed the lace on his face, and then ran for the corner. And this is where Connors hops up and just spears the crap out of TJP. Absolutely perfect way to get the spear. And then Taguchi? This is where later on he pulls his pants down, and he does what I'm calling the people's butt splash, because he did and then ran the two sides of the ropes and then came over and just did the butts.
The actual rock bottom.
The rock's bottom. Yeah.
Rock's bottom. Because he's literally dropping his butt. And could you imagine if he did it the way he used to, where he would actually pull it all down?
Bare ass? Yeah, that's just even worse. Dude, Akira would have got pink eye. But
oh, the poor boy.
Oh, and then there's a point where so Connors ends up tossing Taguchi and then Connors pulls down his pants or his trunks down, and then he sits on TJP. But this is where the camera comes down, and then the rope is blocking the view. It was almost like they intentionally censored the moment.
Oh, 100%.
I thought it was like it was comedy gold because they were censoring it. You hear just the 1, 2, and then the kick out, but you can't see nothing. And I was like, that was fucking genius by New Japan. If that wasn't a mistake, that was genius.
Hand clap to the camera crew and production on NJPW for that.
Very good.
They are known for doing amazing shots like that.
But they are also known for missing stuff too.
Osprey ones.
They've also missed a lot of stuff. I've seen them miss big moments too.
So the torture stuff though, we can do with that.
No, but I've seen them miss the camera crew miss big moments in shows from New Japan. So if that wasn't intentional, if that was a plan to get behind the rope and not show something, great. But I'm not 100% sure with New Japan's track record. But otherwise, Connors ended up taking Taguchi and just throwing him ass first right into TJP. Yep. Great. And then they hit the sandwich bum IA to TJP, and Connors gets the pin on Akira, on TJP, but Akira did break it up. The end of it did come when Connors hit the Randy Orton style snap power slam there, and went for a suplex, but United Empire came together to stop it, and they hit a double stomp inverted DDT move, where it's like it's almost close, kind of sort of like the Skull and Bones that does. You don't talk about the now my brain doesn't work. Right now. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin do, but I can't remember their team name. Yeah, I'm trying to remember their team name, but Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes.
But yeah, they do. But these guys do it with the double stomp with the inverted DDT instead of the splash neck breaker, but I really like it. And then they hit that flapjack into the face buster, and then the sandwich knee strikes, and TJP picks up the win. And absolutely phenomenal match. Like for me, like I love the Lindemann saying like that match was great, and I recommend it for a really good quick style match. But if you want a fast paced, hard hitting, long storytelling match, this is it. This match was awesome. It had great comedy with the butt stuff. Didn't do too much of it, which was they didn't do too much, which was the right thing. They did it for
sentence sounded.
But it
too much butt stuff, but it was enjoyable. Like,
yeah, but again, man, that's going to get clipped by one of my friends, and it's going to come back to haunt me.
You will not.
I know somebody will. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal match. Again, I have become such a big fan of Taguchi and Connors as a team, and I've literally since they came together, TJP and Akira have been absolutely phenomenal together. Again, I want more and more of this team. I want to see them win and say, we're picking, and then pick their opponents. But I also want other teams in this tournament to win too. Because again, whoever they face at Wrestle Kingdom, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I know it will.
100%.
So, yeah.
With this one, the only thing that I said was when Connors pulled down his pants, he had them down for pretty much the rest of the match. Sitting there underneath his butt like some kind of twisted butt lift.
And they had matching underwear.
And they had... that was a little concerning, though. The fact that Connors at one point went into a Yano Tanahashi-esque deep squat with his pants down, and they did not ruin his pants or break them, congrats to your seamstress. Like, whoever it is, she's doing a lot. The only other thing I said Rhino a lot in this match. A lot. Other than that, that's all I got for this guy.
Perfect. And we're going to move on to the main event of the evening. It is Los Ingobernables de Japon's Sonata and Tetsuya United taking on one of my favorite tag teams, Aussie Opens, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis from the United Empire. Mel, this is your pick for the night. Take her away.
It is. This was a really fun match. This was kind of like I heard of Aussie Open before, but I had never really seen a ton of their work before they joined the United Empire. So this has kind of been like a fun introduction tournament to them for me. After this match, I mean, I am a big fan of both of these teams. LIJ, obviously, my prime team there. However, this match was so much fun from start to finish. I had a really good time. Davis and Sonata in the opening point of this match, very fun back and forth. I felt that after their first kind of like tie-ups and tumbles and all of that, Sonata and Davis both showing each other a mutual respect, like, okay, I see you, I get this now. Really enjoyed that. The hand reach spot between Naito and Kyle Fletcher. This was, I think, the first time that I noticed Kyle Fletcher running his mouth a lot. I don't know if it was he had been and I just hadn't noticed, or he just finally was comfortable enough.
It depends on the match. Depends on who he's facing. Because
very vocal.
Because to this crowd, you know that LIJ is to them the LIJ is the faces. Yeah. So when Aussie Open has to be the heels, Fletcher tends to run his mouth more than usual.
Okay.
So I think that's where it was coming out as they know they're going to be the ones technically getting booed. I don't think either one really got booed, but you know that the favorite is LIJ. So that's why I think Fletcher went a little more with what he was saying.
Okay. All righty. Well, I like it. I thought it added a really good dynamic. The hand reach spot that I was mentioning with Fletcher and Naito, where Fletcher is very tall. Very tall guy. So even Naito, Naito seems like a taller than average kind of person, but even he couldn't reach Kyle Fletcher's hands. So stomping on the foot after Fletcher was mocking him to bring him down to, now we can do it, now we can do it, and then Naito being thrown out, the back and forth there. I absolutely loved it. It was classic Naito. It was absolutely what I expect out of him. The way Fletcher played into it was absolutely perfect. There was a senton that Davis did on Naito when Naito was doing his pose. After that spot, my first comment initially was rude. Mm-hmm. So rude. Don't interrupt the man's pose, but at the same time, I mean, he's most vulnerable at that point, and he literally saw you coming. He could have moved, so he chose to eat all of that senton.
Pretty much.
Naito mocking Fletcher when he's in the Paradise Lock, I think, was my most favorite thing to see in the night. As Fletcher's tied up there yelling at him, "Stop talking shit, fuck you!" Absolutely loved that. I felt that this was actually a very hard-fought battle for LIJ in comparison to the younger Aussie Open. I felt that they struggled a little bit trying to get up to that momentum when they finally did get it. Though Naito was able to pin Fletcher for the win, I felt that a lot more damage was actually done to LIJ throughout the match as opposed to Aussie Open. What did you think about this one, Andre?
I had a great time too. This is probably where I took more notes. I think the only match I took more notes than this one was the semi-main of TJP and Akira versus Wild Hips. That I think I took a slightly bit more notes, but this one I took a bunch. And when I went into this, maybe the first few minutes, I wasn't doing a lot. I was checking phone while watching, and then I just started kind of zoned in on it, and I started writing a lot of notes after the first few minutes because I knew already at this point before I had started watching it today. You had said this is a match you wanted for to be your pick. And so I was kind of more just like, okay, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to be like rushing to like, I'm not going to, and I ended up doing a crazy amount of notes too. Like Sonata's TKO is just picture perfect. I probably said this 1,000 times. Was it Davis picked him? Was it, I can't remember who he picked up in a invert, like a backwards torture rack where they're facing like towards behind him, like in a torture rack, and then he falls back Samoan drop style, smashing them face first into the mat. I can't remember. I'm trying to find it in my notes here. It just says Davis gets a reverse Samoan drop for 2. I didn't write who it was on, but he got him up and did it like Samoan drop, but dropping them down face first instead of onto their back. I love that. So like that little variation. I'm like, that stood out to me. Like I thought it was great. There was a point where Davis picked up it was a Sonata almost for a Tiger driver, and then tossed him on the Fletcher, who grabbed his legs and brought him around into a power bomb, like Alabama's, like Tiger driver into an Alabama slam style power bomb. Absolutely phenomenal. And that's I've watched these guys all these matches so far, and I've watched stuff before with them on New Japan Strong. Saw some of their stuff in Rev Pro. I've never seen a match with them do that move. And I was absolutely impressed by that move. It just like that's a tag team finisher right there. But yeah, I absolutely loved it, and I loved hearing the Japanese announcer go "Destino" like Kevin. But I miss hearing Kevin's "Destino" live because I'm really hoping December 14th has live commentary because I want to hear him yell "Destino" again.
Yes, I can't keep doing it at my house because, like, man, my neighbors are gonna hate me, and especially from the last show where he hit the Destino and he took for freaking ever to cover the guy, and I'm still sitting there like, hurry up.
Yeah, but and this one I was very hopeful Aussie Open was going to pick up another win, but if Aussie Open had won this, I think it would have almost made Sonata and Naito irrelevant in this tournament going forward because there'd be 4 more matches they'd have to wrestle, but they would have to surpass Aussie Open in points if that was to happen, and if that, you know what I mean. So I think it keeps them relevant is the biggest thing that I feel in this. You know what I mean? Like keeps them relevant by having them win this match.
100%.
Yeah. So before I'm gonna bring us that and take that off. Before we get closed up. I'm going to give you a quick point update. Super Junior Tag League point update. Chris Bay and Ace Austin and Francisco Kira and TJP and El Lindemann and Alex Zane all on top with 10 points. Then you have Teton and Bushi, Leo Rush and Yo, each with 8 points. Then you have Flying Tiger, Wild Hips, both with 4 points. And I'm thinking this is the cutoff point that I don't think a team like anybody below the 8-point mark right now has a shot because there's only 3 matches left. The best they could do is tie Bay or Chris Bay and Ace Austin or Francesco Kira and TJP. So I'm fairly sure that Flying Tiger, Wild Hips, Kevin Knight and Kushida, Doki and Yoshikuna Karanamaro, and Dick Togo and Show all are mathematically eliminated, in my opinion. And then also, Flying Tiger, Wild Hips with 4 points. Then you got Kevin Knight, Kushida, Doki and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and then sadly, Dick Togo and Show all with 2 points. So, yeah. That's the Super Junior breakdown. Now, this is where it gets slightly more complicated. I'm going to give you the points after this night, and then I'm going to give you updates with the points that other teams are automatically getting from like the wins they that they're getting for their forfeit wins. So, Aussie Open and Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols both on top with 8 points. You have Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki, Sonata and Tetsuya Naito, and Bishamon and Aaron Hara and Negredo Khan, and Team Bebop, Toriano and Hiroshi Tanahashi, all with 6 points. Then you have General's Jewel with 4 points, but they are now eliminated from the tournament as they can no longer gain points because of the forfeits. And then you have House of Torture and the LA Dojo of Gabriel Kidd and Alex Colgan, both with 0 points. Again, General Jules is eliminated just because they cannot pick up another point. And then, in my opinion, House of Torture is out of this. Same with Gabriel Kidd and Alex Colgan. I really do hope Gabriel Kidd and Alex Colgan pick up points. I don't care if House of Torture does or not. But yeah, it's still anybody's game, being that there's only 2 points separating the teams in first from the teams in second. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams still in this. And then going forward, Aussie Open already has an automatic 2 points that from the match that was supposed to happen on December 11th, so they're technically at 10. Shane Hayes and Mikey Vehicles are technically at 10 from the match that was supposed to happen on December 3rd show, so they're technically at 10 points. Sonata and Naito are technically at 8 points due to a match they were supposed to have on the 5th. And then Hanari and Greater Khan are technically at 8 points with the match supposed to have on the 9th. So I will be going forward with the updated added on points going forward, but I want to give you the total after this night. And then, each team has extra 2 points. Some of them have extra 2 points going forward. But I think we have come to an end here. I want to give a big shout out first to Rogue Energy for being a sponsor here. You can use the code OLEPODS for 10% off your order. Go to rogueenergy.com or scan the QR code in the bottom right corner. I also want to thank our friends at our local establishment who have partnered with us, and that's the reason that Rogue Energy is a sponsor for us. That you can check them out on Twitch at our local establishment, on Instagram at OLEPods, and then on Twitch, as I guess I signed us up because I signed it up using the email. OLEPod is going. It looks like going to be the name because OLE podcast wouldn't work, or it's OLEPods. I will make sure I'll send it to Mel and she'll get it put into the description below. We will be starting a TikTok account, so you never know. And then I also want to give a big thank you to our friends over at Backbreaker Video. Mike the Ref, you are an angel. You can check them out on Backbreaker Video on YouTube. You can check Mike out when he does his shows on Twitch, on twitch.tv/Mike the Ref every Wednesday. You get the Dynamite watch along, and then he is on multiple nights a week playing awesome video games. You want to check him out, please support him. He does great things, and as he always says, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. So thank you, Mike, for everything, for simulcasting us on wherever you are. And if you are watching us on Mike's channel, Backer Video, please check us out on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk on YouTube. So Mel.
If you're wanting to follow the Melball, you can find me on Twitter at Collins Melball. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook under Melball Collins, and you can find both Andre and myself's Facebook fan page has the same logo there under Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. And Andre, where can we follow you on social media?
Instagram at the Canada Dude, Twitter at the Canada Guy. Other ones that are popping up here and there at that Canada Guy because I want them, so that's why I'm getting them now. And Facebook, you can find me under Andre Como, and yeah, you can find me on through the Facebook group is the best way to contact me through there.
Melball is in a constant state of twitching.
Are we gonna fight now? Is that what's going on?
And that being said, with these two goofballs, I am your Melball. That is your Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.